Guys, I've received messages from some of you and from some of my friends. People saying to me, Sam, why the hell did you buy the new Tesla Model Y? It's no better than the old version. It's not even good. It's just like, there's hardly any difference. What a waste of money. It's $18,000 more than the Xpeng G6 long range you bought. It's a ripoff. Well, interesting. Very interesting. You know what? In China, there is so many choices. People can buy any EV they want. They can buy an Xpeng G6. They can buy an Xpeng. Now there's a G7, there's a G9, there's an X9, there's Neo this, Neo that, Neo that. There's Zeekr this, Zeekr that. Guys, there is hundreds of models of EVs in China that are all incredibly good. Really good prices, incredible technology. And yet, more than 50,000 people bought the facelifted Tesla Model Y within hours of it going on sale. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Tesla does not pay a single cent to me, or as far as I know, any other YouTubers. So I'm not promoting Tesla cars. I didn't buy one to promote Tesla. I bought it to compare against other EVs, to give you guys some real opinions, the honest truth, not some bullshit from some pro-Tesla YouTubers. There's a lot of, come on guys, a lot of YouTubers, if all the videos they make are just about Tesla, are they telling you the truth? You really think they are? They know you're a Tesla fan. They know you're a Tesla fan and they know what you want to hear. They're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. Now, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Guys, I have tested lots of different cars. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of many different brands, many different electric car brands, Zeekr and Xpeng particularly, but I'm a fan of others as well. So I'm not that guy who's just running out Tesla videos every single day, going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. I'm not the opposite of that, which is like Electric, which just slams Tesla. That's what their marketing is all about. They appeal to people who hate Tesla, to people who hate Elon Musk. Come here, join the community. We'll smash Tesla as much as you want, and we'll just, and then that'll make you feel good. So there's two groups, right? There's the pro-Tesla YouTubers, and they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Everything Tesla does is gold. Tesla to the moon, you know, that stuff. And you know what? Some of them have a point. Sometimes, though, they go too far. Then there's the opposite, the electrics, the people who feel like that Tesla has shunned them. So now they hate Tesla. Now everything negative, anything that can be perceived as negative, they will beat it up. They'll beat it up to the point where you'll feel great because you hate Tesla, you hate Elon Musk, and now you feel good. Your hatred is vindicated. Your hatred is justified. Your emotions, oh, I feel so much better, you think. And yet, they're just telling you what you want to hear. The internet is an echo chamber. And I'm not that guy. I'll tell you the truth. I just did a video. The Xpeng G6 versus the Tesla Model Y. And I pointed out the reality with both of them. There are pros and cons to both of these cars. Now, the Chinese know this. And surprisingly, they have all these other options and all these other choices. And yes, they did buy, I think the Zeekr 7X got what? More than about 50,000 pre-orders as well. Might have been 40,000. The Xpeng Mona M03 got what? 50, 60,000. P7 Plus, 57, you know, a lot of EVs are sold in China. But the point is, there's a lot of choice, and yet the Chinese ordered a huge number of vehicles, a huge number of the Juniper. In fact, launch day received more than 50,000 orders. Now, one Tesla salesperson said his store received nearly 300 orders on launch day. This is consistent with another reviewer from the Chinese auto blogger Sean that the number of orders at a single store exceeded 100 units. Tesla operates 300 stores in China. Now, you don't have to order in China. You can, at a store, you can order online. According to the Tesla China store salesperson, even if a customer pays the intention deposit now, he or she will still have to wait until April or May to pick up the car. That's because Tesla just won't be able to build enough fast enough. In China, 2 trims of the Model Y have been launched. There's no performance yet. There's the standard range version. You can't buy that one in America because you guys now have the long range rear-wheel drive and the long range all-wheel drive. So the standard range, which you can buy in Australia, Thailand, the UK, Europe, probably about 50 different countries around the world. That is starting price of $35,950. So it's less than $1,000 more than the previous generation version. It's still pretty expensive though, guys. I mean, think about it. 36,000 US dollars is a really good deal, but I think it is. Not really it is in China though, is it? Because what, Xpeng's Mona M03, that is $16,800. It's less than half. You can get two Xpeng Monas for the same price as one single Tesla Model Y. So, I mean, the price is good, but I mean, it's not cheap. The Model Y long range is $41,400 US dollars. Tesla China announced that the official delivery date will start in March. Now, in Australia, the official delivery date is May. So most countries outside of China, it's May. Basically, Tesla's going to, fulfill orders in China before they start sending vehicles overseas. Now, apparently on social media, Weibo is basically the Facebook of China. New Model Y, despite the comparison, that phrase was the top trending phrase for a few days. New Model Y, despite the comparison. Very strange. I'm not sure what that means. Tesla delivered 480,300 Model Ys in China in 2024, which was growth of 5% from 2023. I think Tesla could deliver probably around, my estimate would be 600,000 Model Ys in China in 2025. So it's not a huge number. And I don't think Tesla Model Y sales will grow enormously for the reasons I mentioned before. There's so many good alternatives. To tell you the truth, I probably would pick... I like the Xpeng P7 Plus in China. That's a car that I would really strongly consider if I was living there. And the other car I would consider is the Zeekr 001, which is not available here in Australia. The P7 Plus will be available here in Australia within the next 18 months. I'm not sure when, but at some point in time. So that's another car that's worth considering. There's also, to be honest, I'm a huge fan of the Xpeng X9. Now, guys, these three cars, if they were available in Australia, I probably wouldn't have bought a Model Y. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a really good car. But I probably wouldn't have because those cars interest me a little more, but they're not available here at this point in time. Neither is the Zeekr 7X. And neither is the Xpeng X9. Can you see there's just so many good models? Now, the weight of the new Model Y, it looks like it might be a little bit lighter. It's 1,921 kilograms for the standard range version. The all-wheel drive version is 1,992 kilograms. They're pretty lightweight. I mean, some of their rivals are much, much heavier than that. For example, the equivalent BYD Sea Lion, that's a similar size car to the Tesla Model Y, especially similar size interior. I mean, that weighs 2,350 kilograms. It literally weighs 360 kilograms or about 800 pounds more. I don't understand how it can be that heavy. Don't get me wrong. BYD makes some great cars, great value for money. But that weight difference is too much, in my opinion. It means the efficiency is going to be a lot lower. Now, peak power of Tesla's Model Y motor, the standard range is 220 kilowatt, says Tesla's Chinese government. That's about 280 to 290 horsepower. And it comes with a lithium iron phosphate battery. The long-range version of Tesla's new Model Y Juniper has a front motor with a peak power of 137 kilowatt and a rear motor with a peak power of 194 kilowatt. So that means you're looking at total system power of about 330 kilowatt, which is 442 horsepower. That's a fair bit of power. Now, that's the model that I've ordered. It's going to be interesting to see just how quick it is because it's going to be a lot quicker than the previous Model Y. It can do 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds. I don't know if you need the performance version. I mean, that's fast enough, don't you reckon? Now, that vehicle, though, comes with South Korea's LG Energy Solution cylindrical batteries. So 2170 battery cells. I'm not really convinced. I don't know why Tesla uses those batteries. I think they should use something else. I'm actually quite disappointed that they use those batteries still. I just don't see how they're in any way at the top level. They're definitely not as good as something like Geely's golden brick battery. They're definitely not at the same level of, say, some of the CATL new batteries have just launched recently, like the Chillin 2.0. So, yeah, I'm not really sure why they've done that. Maybe it's just cheap. Maybe LG just give them a cheap deal. Now, the price of the long-range version in China is 4.3% more than what it used to be. But that's the launch series. So you pay an extra 4.3% premium for the launch series. You get to pick whatever paint color you want. So it's not an extra price for paint colors. You also get the performance boost. You get some special launch badges. And you get 20-inch wheels. I don't know if the standard version will come with 20-inch wheels, probably 19s. But here's the thing. I mean, I bought the launch version, but I don't think the launch version is going to be as good as the standard version, because the standard range version should go back from 20-inch wheels to 19-inch wheels, which would increase the range. So the WLTP range, guys, is about 466 kilometers, I think. That should go up once the launch series is over, because then they'll go down to the standard 19-inch wheels, maybe even 18s. But 19s, I think, is most likely. And that should increase the range to around 500 kilometers. Now, that would make more sense to me to have done that in the first place. I don't know why they went with those bigger wheels. I don't think anyone cares about 1-inch bigger wheels. I mean, do you? Do you care? Would you prefer more range? Are you like me? Or would you prefer to get a 1-inch bigger wheel? Now, the battery pack size in the standard range is a 62.5 kilowatt hour battery. It comes from CATL, lithium iron phosphate, and it has a CLTC range of 593 kilometers. But that, obviously is going to be a lot less in WLTP. CLTC range is not really achievable in the real world. The long-range all-wheel drive version comes with a 78.4 kilowatt-hour battery, and its CLTC range is 719 kilometers, which Tesla said is the longest range Model Y in history, which isn't actually true. In fact, that's completely untrue. The longest range Model Y is the one you can get in Europe, and that is rear-wheel drive. The long-range rear-wheel drive, and I believe you can get that in the United States. I think that's actually the standard model. It has 363 miles of EPA range, which I'm hearing in the real world is closer to 400 miles, and ends up being more range than the dual motor version, which is simply heavier and has less efficiency because of that extra motor. So that's the longest range version. This one I don't think even beats that. But we'll see in the real world, guys. In the real world, I'm going to actually test it. I'll drive it, my G6, Xpeng G6, and I'll drive it as far as I can. I'll exhaust the battery, and then I'll do the same thing with the Juniper, right? And we'll see which one wins. I think the Xpeng might win this, but it's going to be very interesting. Charging as well. We'll use the same chargers. We'll charge both cars on the same chargers. See which one wins. We'll see which one charges faster in the real world. What do you guys think? Do you think that people in China are right? Do they pick the best car, or do they just pick it because it's the Tesla brand? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.